it's Kana. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is an update for my hashtag No Pan Left Behind. This was a challenge that was created on Instagram. I have the creators link down below. It's like Ivy Ivanova, but the thing is the other person, which is like Makeup Panning 2018. Her account is just like not there. So this was a while back. So they might just have a different account. I don't know, but Ivy's is still up and there are some really cool looks on that account. So anyway, it's still going. There's still people doing it. It took me a long time to hunt down the creators, but I did find them. So I will link that information down below if you guys are interested, because, you know, I wanted to give credit where credit is due. This one was one of the harder ones to find, but I found them. So anyway, those are the creators of this project, and I just love them for coming up with this idea, because this is my kind of like eyeshadow project. You know what I'm saying? I tried doing pan those eyeshadows and it was fun for a minute, but like I got bogged down in the repetitive color stories and just the randomness of it all. And I do love a random project, but it was just real long term with certain things, and it's not for me. I don't wear enough eyeshadow. I mean, I love eyeshadow, don't get me wrong, obviously, but I don't wear makeup every day. And so for me, I'd be like months with the same 5 shadows. So I gave that up and I decided to do this one instead. I am the type of person that just gets real bogged down with without freedom, you know? I need to be able to use my eyeshadow palettes. I love my eyeshadow palettes. So I needed a project that allowed me to touch whatever I want and work around that. So that's what I'm doing. So a lot of people are doing this like in a roulette style. The original creators, that wasn't like a rule or anything. I think it was just like, you can, or you can pick them, whatever you want. I put the original instructions down there too, so check that out. So yeah, those are all down there. But anyway, I love that. I love that about the project. It gives me the freedom I need to really just enjoy my palettes, but also use them all. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. So because I did have palettes in projects, if you watch my channel and you've seen my other projects, there may be some spoilers in here. So yeah, just saying. So anyway, I will be talking about the palettes that I finished using for this project. So yeah, let's talk about it. So the first palette that I actually used everything in is the Michelou, the Fawn palette. And this palette is real pretty. It's like the same on the outside, and then it's just got these colors inside. I want to turn this down, I think, so that you can see this. So that's what these look like. Now, this white one down here, it's got like a shift to it. It's like a pink duochrome kind of shift. It's not great. The color story, I think it's such a beautiful palette, but for some reason I remembered it being like so much cooler looking, and I like the way it looks, but like when I go to use it, I don't know what to do with it because it's like so neutral, I think. But that being said, I really enjoyed these colors when I had to use every color, which is what I love about this project, because I had to use every single color in here. And some of them I would just do like one color over the whole lid just to get a feel for it. And I really love them. I don't like this one. I have this shade in so many palettes. It's not unique. It's beautiful. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have something like that in here. So I don't need it, which is good because I think I'm allergic to it. This made my eyes water so badly. I think it was that one. But yeah, I might just go ahead and pop that out and get rid of it. Maybe I'll put something else in this palette. Maybe I'll rearrange it. I don't know. I think that's going to be a different project. This project is simple. This project is just use every shadow once, make a decision, move it out. My decision is that this is going to go into a chopping block project so that I can figure out how best to use this, because I really do love these shades for the most part. So that's that. This one is going back here. Okay. Next, I do have one more palette that I used every shade in, and that is the Shroud Cosmetics Arcana palette. That one was in my Roses Are Red project pan, and the Arcana palette is from my Bingo. This is from Bingo. So that has a different goal. But anyway, here it is. For this project, I had to use each shadow one time. Obviously, it's no pan left behind. And I have done that. I love this palette. I kind of talked about it in the other video, and I'll link that if you guys want to see that. So I'll just briefly go over this. The shimmers, except for this one, are very like low key, right? A couple of them, these two here, they're very difficult to, they don't do much. They're more kind of like, it's not even a topper shade. You just really have to foil them. So that's fine. I don't mind foiling them, but this one is stunning. But like, I'll show you these. And then I'll show you this one. And this one's so creamy to the touch, and these are not like that. So this is what those look like. And maybe you can see, but they don't even come off as well as they do on my fingers with fingers or anything. So really do have to wet those. They're not my favorite. I love them, but they're not my favorite. Formula. Like, I love the colors, you know. I love when they do work, how they look. I love, 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 love the mattes in here. The darker mattes, actually, I should say, these two here, they have a tendency to really, you really kind of got to work with them a little bit to get them on there, but they work fine. Everything in here is good. I just think it's just not my favorite, which I talked about in the other video. So anyway, I love this palette. The color story is fantastic. I have come up with some really great looks. I'm not sorry I have this. This is just gonna go right back into my collection because I love it. Oh, and let me show you without this crazy light. But yeah, it's a really beautiful palette. Arcana from Shroud Cosmetics, and it is going back here. So that's two. Let's talk about the other ones. Forgot the sleeve. I'm like, should I keep the sleeve? What is wrong with me? It's the same, but I can't get rid of it. Ugh, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about the other palettes in the project, shall we? Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the PANtastic Ladies theme, which is their Pan That Palette theme for this year is Size Matters. So this is like the hashtag Size Matters guy right here. So this is the NYX and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3 spell book, which is so freaking cute. I'll be honest with you guys, I loved this series. I haven't seen the last one that they did, the last season, because I just haven't. I don't know. I go through phases. I watched the first two and I was like, yes. And then I bought this because I just, for the packaging, y'all, it's so cute. I just had to have it. I knew it wasn't going to be expensive, and I just thought it's such a cute like book, spell book thing, and I wanted it. And bonus, it's actually not a bad palette. So I quite like it. I did use NYX Scratch blush today. So I have used this guy. I did also use Mortal's Delight, this one here. I'll just swatch it. And I also used Ambrose, which is like her cousin. So I used these two, and I used the blush, which is this. It's gorgeous. It's a really pretty blush. So that's what those look like. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm gonna try to show you this a little bit closer. So that's what that looks like. It's a pretty big palette, but anyway, I just wanted you to see, like, get a good idea of the actual colors in here. So anyway, I have a long way to go with this palette. I had a lot of palettes in projects, so I really just wanted to focus on those. I did have another palette, which I'm going to talk about in a second, that I brought in. So there was that, but yeah, I've got a good start on it. Gonna keep going. So this one has not been done, obviously. Yeah, this is gonna take a little while. I might only get through a few of these this year for the size matters, because they're all gonna be gigantic. So there's that. So the next one is the Michelou Queen Bee palette. This is my favorite one, I think. I love this palette so much. Let me show you. That is what she looks like. She is stunning. I mean, look at these shimmers. They're gorgeous. I know that one got broken. I don't know how I broke it. I don't remember if I dropped it or something, but I had to just kind of push it back in there. And anyway, so they're beautiful. These, oh, this pollen right here is so pretty. I think I talked about the black in the last video. They're okay. They're pretty good. But that pollen color, it's beautiful. I freaking love this palette, but I have not used everything in it just yet. So let me pull up my notes, because there's no way I can keep track of all of this in my noggin, because it's very cluttered and messy, and it needs a good cleaning out. So we're just gonna go ahead and just check our notes. I think I haven't used this one since the last time, come to think of it. So I know I've used this one, this one, this one, this one, and obviously this one. So I still have quite a ways to go with this, but I am looking forward to it for sure. So yeah, no worries. Also, Michelou Witchcraft Palette, which I will show you. So that is what this looks like. Really pretty, grungy, beautiful palette. Love the look of this. But yeah, I loved the look of this when I saw it. Obviously, y'all know I love my greens. Okay, so again with this palette, this duochrome right here, it's a green shifting one. It's not great. And again, I have one of those in here, which is also not great, but I have other ones. So gosh, it just makes me sad though. It's just not impactful, and it really bumps me out. And I don't know if I'm allergic to that one, but I will be using it again just to see. But in this palette, okay, in the Witchcraft palette, I have only used 3 of these. I used this as a companion palette to the Queen Bee and the, I think it was just the Queen Bee. I did a look with just those 2. So that is why I haven't got a lot of progress, because I just haven't used it yet. But I did use the black, and it's fine. It's a fine black. Was able to build it up and it worked just fine. It's not my most pigmented black, but it works. And then I used this one here. And then of course I used that one there. So this one, I still have quite a ways to go. But I am looking real forward to getting into these purpley ones. That's an interesting formula. It's a little dry and has some fallout, but like That looks like it could be really pretty. It's very like not crumbly, but ooh. Oh yeah, that's a pretty like bruisey color, which I'm down for. So yeah, looking forward to using this some more. So my next, no. We're gonna talk about another palette that I have in a project. Okay, so we are gonna talk about the Urban Decay Electric palette. This guy, I still have only used Slow Burn, which is the orange, and then these two greens over here. So I love this palette, but I just haven't used it, and I need to because it's in a project. So now that I have gotten through some things and I have more room to work with things, I'll be bringing this in. These are mostly like shimmery anyway. I mean, I think they all are, but to different degrees. Yeah, kind of. No. Anyway, these are nice little pops of color that I can bring into other looks. So I just need to do that more. But yeah, nothing really to talk about. It hasn't moved. Moving on. All right. Now, I think that's everything from last time, but I have dipped into another palette. So we, of course, have to add this one in to the project, because if I touch it, it comes into the project. And that is, if you have seen my Get Ready With Me, of course you know, that is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics The Dollhouse palette. So that is what it looks like inside. I really wanted to turn the lights down so you could see the dimension in here, and just, it's hard. It really kind of whites out. It gets like overexposed when I try to show it to you usually, but anyway, there it is. So there's a really good look at that. And what I used, I will just show you really quickly. I used lace here. I used this green one here, which is called Figure. I used rouge, baby doll, tulle. I used, what else did I use? I think I used, oh, Madame. It's not black, by the way. I think I said in that video it's black. It's not. Let me see if we can swatch the difference, because Stitched is black and I think this one is brown. It is a very deep brown. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's subtle. But yeah, it's not actually. It's like a grungy, deep brown. So there's that. So I'm already well on the way to getting this palette very dirty because it's a very light colored. But I used lace, I used Pretend, I used Tulle, those three right here. I used Baby Doll, Rouge, Porcelain, Figure, Madame, and I think I used a little bit of Dress Up down here. So yeah, so I've actually used quite a few of these, but I have a ways to go, so we'll just add this one to the pile. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but if I have touched it and it goes over here, it stays over there. I'm not touching it again. This is just for now. These are my rules. If I have to change something, I guess I will do that, but for now that is how it stands. But yeah I think we're good. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really loving the freedom that I have to just use whatever I want. It makes me very happy. I have so many choices. There are so many more new things that I could bring in. I have another project coming up that I'm totally excluding eyeshadow palettes from because that would be insane. But I am going to add my singles into that so I can get some use out of my singles as well. I thought about bringing in singles into this project as like a kind of, like if they were, say, in a palette like this, but they don't stay in the same palettes sometimes. So I didn't want to do that. Ooh, these are Terra Moons, by the way. Not all of them. Some of them are Glam Shop, and those are amazing. Oh, sorry. But I mean, just for fun. Like, come on now. What is up with that? Can you see that? Ugh. Anyway, I really want to get some use out of these, so I'm not going to bring those into this project, these singles, but I am going to use them in my other project that is coming up. So I think, yes, it's complicated. You'll see when you see that, because that project is that I have to use things completely up, and I don't think we'll talk about that later. Okay. All right. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, I think so far the votes, if you guys want to vote for which awkward palette that I choose after I'm done with the NYX and Sabrina palette, then go watch that video. Vote in the comments with the emojis that I talk about, because I'm having people, if you missed that, I'm having people choose the Next Size Matters palette that I'm going to put in the project. And there are some options and some emojis that you can choose to vote for those. And if you haven't done that already, go check it out. Go vote in the comments. There's still time because I got to work through that bad boy. So it's going to be fine. But yeah, so that's going to be everything. I'm really enjoying this one. So I'm really happy I chose to do this. Thanks again to the creators of this project, and yeah, I think that's it until next time. So if you guys like watching me use my eyeshadow palette, then go ahead and subscribe, give this video a like, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.